Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk My Hero Academia. What do you think, Isaac? Wow, that's a lot of thoughts. I appreciate you letting us know how you feel about covering My Hero Academia. But guys, while Isaac returns,
Oh, sorry, I didn't. I thought I wasn't muted, but yeah, let's go to My Hero Academia.
woohoo!
Great ties save lives, as Mike says.
So, shout out to Mike, the novice cinephile. So, guys, this episode is episode 15, titled Mirko the Thigh Hero. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the name of this week's episode. It is episode 115, Mirko the number 5 hero. I mean, first of all, what a phenomenal episode of My Hero Academia. Second of all, what a great way to name the episode and to showcase this character. I mean, up to this point, we really haven't seen Mirko in action, right? We've seen little bits and pieces. We saw a little bit on in the fight where Endeavor was fighting the high end Nomu, like towards the end of it, right? Was she there during the whole overhaul thing? I don't remember. Was she there?
Like I said off air with you and Mike, it was ages ago that I read a war arc. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm not talking about the war arc. I'm talking about overhaul. That like a season ago or 2 seasons ago.
I
What
don't
she?
recall her being in the
Yeah,
last
I don't think she
season.
was there. Yeah, I think the one that was the female hero that was most prominent during the whole overhaul attack was Ryuki, the dragon hero, right? The one that always trains with, the one that's been training Uruhara.
Fairly certain, yes.
Yeah, I think that's the one, because I know she has a big role towards the end, before Deku goes Super Saiyan. He literally pulls a Gohan at the end of that arc, which by the way is awesome. But yeah, so great episode. Mirko is front and center. It is an episode that is showing us why she's the number 5 hero, why she is awesome, why a lot of people enjoy this character, and boy, does Mirko kick ass. Isaac, you saw this episode. Is like you, we've read the book, and it's been a while since we've read the book. And how did you feel finally seeing her kick ass and take down these Nomu?
I mean, love me some ferocious ladies that knows how to handle themselves. So. And
Yeah,
what can I say? Great ties save lives, and she's a badass.
I do want to illustrate something very important here. I do find it interesting and hilarious that I think it was maybe during this week when they were starting to talk about the leaks, or at least as soon as the episode came out, Mike was saying that that apparently some people took pictures of how Mirko's thighs feel strengthened whenever, like there's like a zoom in into how many muscles she has on her legs.
Yeah, Bone seems to love them. So
I mean, I can't really say that it's wrong or inappropriate, because at the end of the day, she is the bunny hero. That's who she is. So she is I mean, it's all legs. But I do like the fact that she's kind of like a Street Fighter character. I kind of get that feeling from that character.
I wouldn't be surprised if, sure, Chun Li isn't like that. Uh, from what I've gathered, I'm not that big into Street Fighter, but
Yeah.
the way she fight with her legs and all that, yes, I wouldn't be surprised if he has taken some inspiration with her, or
Yeah.
isn't there
Yeah.
some other Street Fighter character that fights with legs?
There's Juri. Yuri, she's like the evil kickbox or Muay Thai fighter. She's also a female, and she's very badass. She does a lot of like grip attacks with her legs. She's very difficult to use, but she's actually super awesome.
Yo, Mike!
But yeah, Juri is one of them. Chun-Li is another. King of Fighters has Kim, I think is the name of that character. Um, and it's all like I just like the fact that because of the way she's fighting, which is very brutal, very physical, very martial artsy, all her moves feel like Street Fighter moves. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything that Endeavor does, Endeavor just reminds me of a Pokemon. Um, you know what I mean? Oh wait, Mike actually. Yo,
Yeah,
see,
I mean,
I'm trying to.
I am here.
I am trying to run a show, and then you do this. You're amazing.
I couldn't miss this episode. Mirko just came to play, man.
I mean, it looks like you did too. So, but but yeah, man, she definitely did. She is awesome. What I love about her as a character is her relentlessness and 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 how she carries herself. Like she's definitely the hero that's do or die.
agreed, Patrick.
She's that do or die character that I truly love and enjoy. And the reason I say do or die is because I don't think we've met a hero that is so ready to give her life. I mean, we've seen it, but to be so vocal and aggressive about it, I don't think we've met a hero like her. Like I feel that this is the first time that we meet a hero that has this oomph to her, that to the point that we see her literally lose an arm and not even flinch until she took down the enemy. And I love that line when she goes. I love that line when she goes like, "Hey, if we die together, that's when we die." It was just badass.
Yeah, definitely. And going back to Patrick's comment here about how they adapted her fight scene in this episode, right, from the manga. Last week we were talking about how 3 chapters per episode is the perfect pacing for MHA.
Yeah.
We landed perfectly 3 chapters again, minus one specific moment that leads into next week's episode, which they kind of cut. But
Yeah.
I love, like, this episode had quite a bit of filler in it. If you guys go back and read the chapters that it adapts, 61, 62, and 63, I believe, Mirko gets more action in the anime than she did in the manga, which I think is fantastic, just showing her raw power.
And very deliberate.
Right, and tenacity, right? Because we see her taking down these Nomu, and like you said, seeing her lose her arm in a way that I feel is more graphic in the anime than the manga, which I don't know how Bones got away with that. It's crazy. But just her sheer will is incredible to see. And, Mirko is one of my favorite characters in My Hero Academia. She comes in fairly late into the story, but once she arrives, you get it. And I love how you started like listing all of these other characters that she's similar to. Street Fighter with Chun-Li. That's all I think of. Like I said last week, thick thighs save lives.
True. And Patrick, I have to agree with you because that was all I was thinking about when I saw the preview, and all I can think about is, oh no, next episode is when they do the thing, and like, and I think that comment that Patrick just shared with us, right? The idea that of what's coming between Hawks and Twice, and also what we see with Mirko's arm, I think it's kind of a testament of how different of a show My Hero is becoming and will become. Because us that know the books and read the books, we know what's coming, and we know there's a lot of shifts in tone and story and direction, and a lot of characters, things are going to happen. But I love how the show is taking the visual format to expand and add depth. And we've always talked about this in Attack on Titan, right? Like Isayama has gone out of his way because he's actually said it in interviews that Attack on Titan is his, on the anime specifically, is his final or perfect final say when it comes to the definitive edition of Attack on Titan, right? That's the anime is Isayama's director's cut to say. And a lot of the stuff that he's the reorganization of scenes, taking things from future scenes and putting them early, like brings so much depth to the story. And I love the fact that with this, because you got to think about it, it's a 23-minute episode, and at least 15 minutes is Mirko. So more than half. And I feel that I know her. And I just like, I'm buying a shirt tomorrow. I'm walking on the street. Like, you know what I mean? You have that feeling, dude, like, "Argh!" And it's funny because you kind of also get in the same energy. Like, she's a character full of energy, and the voice actor is just having a blast with this role because I can kind of feel the energy just coming through the performance. You know what I mean? Like even when her arm goes out, you don't really freak out. You're like, oh, but she's still going, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there are 3 characters I feel like in MHA that have that presence, right? Where at the moment you're introduced to them, you're like, oh boy, you command every scene you're in.
Yep.
That's Lemillion, Mirko, and when we first meet Shoto.
Yep.
And yeah, you know, it's insane how much they did with her in this one episode. Well, technically 1.5, because we did kind of meet her last week. But not only that, the development we did for Denki Kaminari, right? Like,
bro,
what they did with Kaminari, and not just that, but his relationship with Jiro and Midnight, again, stepping in to encourage her students, I thought was so well done. And then they threw in some extra filler with Deku and his gang, which was nice because if you read the manga, Deku's not in those 3 chapters that are adapted for this episode. So you go a little bit without seeing him. So I thought they kind of, considering it's MHA, there was a nice amount of filler that they kind of snuck in here, but it all works perfectly.
I'm glad that you used the word filler because the interesting thing about it is that they're using filler for what it should be, connective tissue.
Right.
That's the best filler that works. Which is why when I see Naruto, right, and a lot of people complain of how much, because trust me, if an anime has filler, it's Naruto. Oh, and by the way, let's check the box. We're speaking of Naruto in another episode. Like Naruto.
Didn't Boruto have like 76% filler?
Well, here's the thing: it's still ongoing, so we can't really say. But
as of right now,
it is over 70% filler. Correct.
Possibly, yes. Now, what I'm trying to say is that Naruto, at least 70%, was expanding some character story in a way, as opposed to just being a filler for the sake of filler. Which is why I like this because they're doing the Infinity War thing, where you know how last week I talked about this being like the biggest event that we've had in the book, right? In the show. So they're doing the thing where, okay, we got to do little things here and there to make sure that people know Patrick is in tune, man. But like they're doing the thing where they're making sure that you have enough so that when a character returns on screen, it still feels like they're part of the story. They don't feel like they're coming out of nowhere, you know, which is the danger that you run into when you have, I don't know, every single character you've created for the show in the same scene. Like, so yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
For sure.
I'm glad that you mentioned the Kaminari stuff, though. Like, Isaac, I want to ask you a question. I know that you wanted to be that Nomu that Mirko destroyed with her thighs, but
don't we all?
Yes, honestly, it's a good way to die,
especially when it flexes. So,
I mean, there is a reason why I have the poll right now, which you all can vote for, which is who would you prefer to be stepped on, Mirko or Jor?
Yes.
We're going to have that poll up for the rest of the stream, so we are going to talk about it, or should I say mention it in the next one, to see who won.
Yeah, agreed. Now the whole other thing also is with the Kaminari stuff, I personally forgot. I either forgot or that's not in the book. Mike, you're my expert. Is that in the book?
100%. Everything we see from Midnight, Jiro, Kaminari, and Ed Shot are in the manga.
So, but I love the fact that I forgot that that was there. But it hit so hard. It was so great. Like the emotion was there. And of course, what did they do as soon as he comes into the realization? They do the thing. They press play and they do My Hero theme. Now here's the thing though. Normally when we hear that theme, it's because someone is going to do the thing. Which I love the fact that that's become a staple of the show throughout the seasons. But the reason I love that moment the most is because I love seeing those little bits of development with these side characters. Because one of the things that we've talked about for the last 2 seasons, which is normal, because for example, we have a lot of characters within MHA and Class 1A that their story has already run their course. Like for example, Lita's story peaked with Stain, and that was just the way that character was written, right? To a degree. So there's other and now the whole thing with the thing we saw with Tokoyami with his training with Hawks. That's another moment where his story peaked, but he has more to go because there's a lot more coming. But the fact that we get that little bit of development and growth with Kaminari and Jiro and specifically Kaminari, it was just great. It was just great. And I love how he's no longer playing the Mineta card. Now he's saying, guys, I have a hero name and I can do something.
Very, very true. I agree. It's just a fantastic moment for him, especially since he's a character who doesn't get a lot of shine. Like he's around and relevant to the story because of his friendship with Kirishima and Bakugo.
Right.
But you notice he's separate from both Kirishima and Bakugo, which I think was a great touch and the push he needed, because it's easy to be strong when you're being compared to Kachan and Kirishima. But having him on his own, having also his relationship with Tokoyami be part of that push, and Midnight giving him that encouragement to give us a pretty badass moment when you think about it, right? Because we have this big bad villain trying to electrocute the entire battlefield, and he just absorbs it. Amazing. And he didn't go dumb yet, at least. He didn't go dumb, which by itself for Kaminari is a big deal.
And the fact that you can see him enjoying being the hero for once, you know, like to me as soon as I heard and it's like the music guys are playing with me, because as soon as that they hit play on that, my heartstrings just went, why are you doing this to me? So emotional, so powerful. But I also like the fact that Kaminari now has a personal stake. And I love how they're able to introduce personal stakes like that to other characters that are not the main characters, because it allows the world to breathe and grow. And I love how Patrick said it, because in this arc shines because of this, because it allows a lot of different characters that we spent either very little time with or a lot of time with to grow and shine in different directions. And because this is the kind of show, which again, I go back to the Crisis. This is Crisis on Infinite Academia. Like, I'm going to coin that.
My Infinite Crisis.
I would rather call it my Miracle Academia with this episode.
You know,
sorry, Shiba reviews, but you have a point here.
But yeah, so the way Patrick says it, every character is growing, and because if we see these side characters grow, then that means that the world is growing, and I want to see that world, and I'm excited with what they're doing so far. I don't know, guys. It's 5 out of 5 on these 2 episodes. I mean, I don't think we can ask for more. It's been awesome.
I'm gonna be real. These first 2 episodes are better than the entirety of last season already.
Great.
I'm gonna drink again. I'm gonna sip a little bit of coffee and.
Then again, no, I'm not going there.
Now, can we talk? Can we talk about how the entirety of the show pretty much got a facelift also, because they completely redesigned also the preview screens, and they completely redesigned the commercial screens, because we never had them like that. It used to be for 5 years it was like the very simple one with the My Hero Academia logo forming and then going away.
Yeah.
Now it literally became Who's That Pokemon, but it looks great.
I'm just glad they don't feel the need to tell me who everybody's quirk is. Like, you don't need to explain what explosion is after 100 episodes. We're on episode 115. I don't need you telling me quirk, frog. She has the abilities of a frog. I get it. I understand. So I'm glad that they changed it and they went with like, hey, Mirko's dope. This is what she looks like. Let's get back to the episode. I would have preferred, like, if they wanted to go that route, with the old cards, there would be actual information, like Attack on Titan would give us actual like lore tidbits during theirs.
Yeah.
So if they could explain how Hero Society works, how support items work, if they actually used it to flesh out the world, I'd be cool with it. But I feel like if we need to have any like flashcards, essentially, having cool comic book covers is better than you talking down to me like I'm two.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, I think that's what sells those in-between moments, right? Because it is high-end, super awesome poster-worthy stills, right? As opposed to just the face, like they're taking their passport picture at Walgreens, right? Which is what we had before. Isaac, do you like the changes that they've done to the show? Those little things here and there? You are muted, my friend. You might want to. So while he returns, Patrick says something very interesting, which I want to bring to the plan here. Patrick, I really love your emphasis on paying attention. You're awesome, because this is one of those things that we spoke about when we covered the Entertainment District arc of Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, which you guys can find in our channel on our playlist. We did cover that entirety arc. And one of the things that we noticed that was very interesting that we really enjoyed, because it really helped the pacing of the story and the concentration of the action, is the fact that they actually took the liberty to make the episodes as long as they wanted them. The first episode was like 40 minutes, then it went to regular length, and then the last episode was longer than all the others. And that actually helped the flow of the story and the build-up, because it kind of invited us back into the world and then allowed us to leave slowly after, right? After the turmoil that we found at the end of that arc, which, by the way, that arc was just phenomenal. Which in my mind, if they were going to do Mugen Train, they should have done it like a limited series with fewer episodes if they were going to translate it into a show. That's my take.
Amen.
Which they didn't do, which, I don't know. But, yeah, that's a great point.
At least it wasn't as low budget as the Dragon Ball Super Battle of Gods retelling of the movie when anime came back.
I'm just so proud that Isaac mentioned the budget of something again. He has no fear anymore. I thought the PTSD was gonna kick in.
Yeah.
I
mean, at the end of the day, it is superhero anime, so it's in tune with Avengers. So here
it wasn't talking about budget. It was just that Toei Animation was lazy with its retelling. That's all.
Yeah. Now, do you guys think that Patrick has a point? What do you think? You think it would have benefited from having a longer first episode and then moving forward? How do you guys feel about that?
So I agree. It would have been better served as like a good 40-minute premiere, simply because the end of the last episode starts with it has Mirko chasing the doctor, and then she's already doing it. So we might as well either float that to this episode, which would have been bad because I would have ruined the pacing of the first one, or have them combined into one big premiere. But I'm not going to complain. What's up, Leo?
What's up, Leo?
Simply because My Hero always starts with a stupid filler episode, so I'll take what I can get.
Right. And also, I wonder, Isaac, you go, and then I'll go.
All I'm saying that no, no, but the only well, yeah, I can agree with Patrick on that one. Yes.
So, my only concern, which again, I just said how amazing it was when Demon Slayer did it. What I wonder is, we still get the Murko action scenes that would have gotten, or would we have enjoyed it the same way if it was just one episode? You know what I mean? Like, I wonder how the pacing would have been affected. I don't think it would have been affected that
Good
much,
point.
but at the same time, that's why it worked with me, because it was the perfect cliffhanger in episode one, and episode two didn't waste time. It picked up right where we left off. So it was a good way, like for a premiere, it was the right amount of cliffhanger and suspense to then start an amazing second episode. But at the same time, if we were going to do a connected episode or do a bigger first episode, it could have worked if all the episodes were bigger. Does that make sense? I kind of at that point I wanted to just pull a Game of Thrones and do like 50-minute episodes throughout, because to think about it, this arc would actually benefit from that structure.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
For sure, for sure. Patrick's comment here does make me laugh. It's like, yeah, they could have did a Kaguya-sama where they just dropped both episodes in 1 week. That way they would have kept the exact same flow, but we could have kind of binged it instead of having them be a week apart. But, you know, it doesn't bother me either way, because, again, these two episodes blow season 5 out of the water.
True. But I actually, it just got in from the field. I just got an answer from Crunchyroll. The reason we could not get to a 40-minute episode is because we couldn't handle the thighs.
Yeah, that would have been, we would have OD'd. Isaac would have made it for the show the next day.
I have no shame.
If you have no shame, how less of a shame do I have?
Negative
buddy.
5.
I don't know why, but now I need to make a meme with Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men. You can't handle the thighs.
Jesus.
It's happening.
This is a show about teenagers in high school. What has happened?
I mean, look at
They
Midnight.
introduced the pros, and everything goes off the rails.
Yes.
You know how I am, and like I said, I'm worse than usual right now, Mike.
Yep.
Yeah, Class A versus Class B. It had some fun moments. I like the Bakugo episode, but
Yeah.
Black Whip is cool. Like that'll always be a dope moment. But
Yes.
oh god, the pacing gets bogged down in the second half.
Yeah. And the Bakugo episode is pretty awesome, I gotta say.
Amen.
So guys, have we said our fill? Oh my god. The thigh hero. It's here. So guys, I think we've said our fill on My Hero Academia. I mean, 2 home runs worth of episodes. It's been amazing. I can't wait for the next week's episode. As you guys know, next week we start our coverage on Chainsaw Man and Bleach. So there will be no My Hero coverage next week, because we're starting the coverage of My Hero and Bleach, and then we go into a bi-weekly schedule where one Sunday we do Chainsaw Man and Bleach, and the other Sunday we do My Hero and Spy Family. And
Leo gets
Isaac, this is what you cause. Which, by the way, Leo is a brilliant man.
Leo, you are as much slack I gave you about One Piece, I will give you this one. You are a man of culture because of this comment. I'm proud of you, bro.
This is so bad.
Let's move on, shall we?
Woof woof. So those that know. But yes, we're gonna start our coverage of Chainsaw Man and Bleach next week, and then the following Sunday we go back to My Hero Academia and Spy Family. Guys, If you enjoy our coverage of My Hero Academia, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and click on the bell for notifications so you don't miss any streams. If you've missed any episodes, don't worry, because we upload our coverage every single week in separate videos, so it's more digestible chunks, so you'll never miss any of the coverage. And sometimes when we have other stuff to cover, like the My Hero manga, which for some reason decided to drop tomorrow, we'll be covering that this week and putting it up on this channel so you guys know our thoughts about it. So,
woof.
oh my God. So before we go on the 60-second break so we can go to the next part of the show, if you guys have not seen Spy Family, this is the moment when you guys can head out. And once you get caught up, you can look it up in the channel and enjoy it. So for those that are leaving, Isaac, let them know where they can find you.
Well, you can find my work at Volume Entertainment, and you can find me over at Emblemaniac on Twitter. And I'm less what's it called, NSFW than I am here, so don't you worry about following me there.
And that was wow, Mike. Where can people
had to put up a disclaimer?
Wow,
Not as horny on Maine. Okay.
Where can people find you, my man?
I'm from Sweden. Give me a break.
Jeez. You can find me at Novice Cinephile everywhere, specifically Twitter and YouTube.com/Novice Cinephile. Did a video on Naruto for its 20th anniversary. That might be something that this audience is interested in, if you want to check that out.
It's a great video, guys.
I'm going to perform some Shadow Clone Jutsu for the Spy Family episode and a substitution jutsu. You'll see in a second. Bye.
Awesome. So, Mike, make sure you add the link to the description for that Naruto video because it was pretty awesome.
Believe it.
Yeah. And you can find me at the Scarlet Fan 52, and you can find the pod at Amateur Otaku Pod. Guys, we'll see you in a bit. We'll be back with Spy Family. See you soon.
Have it awesome, Patrick.
Boom, bada, boom, boom.